Hello guys, so I'm using Rimmel Perfect Finish Primer and I'm just spreading it from my T-zones all over my face, going around. It's very smooth, very soft, very jelly. And then I went in with my L'Oreal True Match foundation. What this foundation does for me is that even if it is soft and smooth and light, it also does concealing, and the secret is with the shade. If you notice that it's not my exact skin shade and it's not way too dark, but it's slightly darker than my skin, so with that in mind, it's going to conceal for me and I would not be needing any concealer afterwards. And again, when I do my highlighting and the rest of my makeup, it's going to keep the makeup cool, calm and natural and not too loud. So when I was done with this, I went in with my Black Opal Stick Foundation, a light shade. As you can see, I'm just highlighting all of my T-zones. How do you get your T-zone on your face? You just draw a line from the middle of your face down your nose line to your lower jaw, and draw a line from one side of your ear to the other side, and that will give you your T-zone. Those are the areas you highlight. And then for the contour, I'm still using a Black Opal Stick Foundation in a dark shade. I'm going just from the beginning of my earlobe, below my cheekbone, around my forehead, my lower jaw. Those are the areas where I apply my bronzer, which is the contour effect. And then I went in with my blush. I'm trying to be as light as possible with the blusher for the liquid one, because I don't want it to be too loud, and I don't want to have a red face at the end of the day when my makeup tones down. So I just want everything to sit there, have their play their part, have an effect, but work together, you know. So this is me just blending out all the highlights first, making sure I go just on the light shade and I'm not mixing up with the contour and the blush. And if you do, it's not the end of the world. Then I blended it all out, and I went in again with a lighter shade of LA Girl concealer to give my face more of a pop, to bring out the makeup a bit. And then I blended that in properly. The secret to a flawless makeup is, one, in the shade of product you're using, and two, blend, blend and blend. So now I'm taking in my blush alongside the highlighter, taking in my blush, and I like to go like towards my hairlines, with the blusher. And that's my contour. I'm using a thick brush, a hard thick brush for the contour effect, to blend in the bronzer. The bronzer is the same thing with the contour. You want to take that to your into your neck, out of your face, the hairlines, just so there's no demarcations around your face and the makeup. Then when I'm done with that, I went on to blend using the same brush to blend the nose bridges, the sides of my nose, the contour bronzer effect as well. And then when I was done with that, I put my setting powder. I picked all of the areas that I highlighted, and after I applied my setting powder or my finishing powder, I allowed it to sit there for a while, and then I went on to do my eyeshadow. Guys, did you see that eyeshadow palette? Beautiful, lovely, colorful, just as the lovely season we're in. It's a perfect holiday palette, guys. So for my transition, I'm using a dark red. Yes, I'm using a dark red for my transition, and to blend out all the edges of the shadow after I've done like this. So my transition is in dark red, and I'm just doing both sides, and I just keep going in until I was satisfied with the shade I got. And then I went in with a hard brush. You want to make sure that your mini brush has a tough edge enough to draw a line. It's not too soft, it's not too fluffy for the crease. I'm also using the light shade of LA Girl Pro Concealer to cut my crease. If you have an eyeshadow primer, that works out well. I'm sure that's what you should use. If you have an eyeshadow primer that is very creamy, that works as well. So I'm doing that for both sides of my face. I'm cutting the crease and I'm just making sure is well concealed at the base and is very similar on both sides of my face. And then I chose this very hot, very happy, very bold orange shade for the holiday look. And I really love it because it gave me a sparkle, it brightened my mood. You know, makeup is all about you, it's all about your mood, it's just how you feel. Some days you don't just feel like it, and on those days, don't force it. And some days you want to go all the way, then just don't make sure you go all the way, guys, on such days. So that's how you're happy and that's how you're proud of what you're doing. So I just kept going in with this yet orange color and it was just coming out looking vibrant and beautiful and give my face a spark and give my heart a spark, and it just put me in the holiday mood and I was just enjoying myself while I was doing this eyeshadow. It was the highlight of this makeup for me. And so after I went in with the eyeshadow on my cut crease, I also went back to my transition brush to take off any rough edges around the main eyeshadow and the transition. That's what the transition color does for you. It blends out roughness, takes away, you know, the bridge between each color, blends them in together, gives it a flawless ombre finish kind of finish. So for my smoky, I went in with a black eyeshadow, proper black eyeshadow. I went in. It's creamy. It's not pure matte. And then I used this. I kind of created a little bit of cat eye with it because it's just easy for me to follow suit with my liner or gel when I'm doing that. So I did that on both sides of my face, and I just went in until I was satisfied with the shade that I have. And then guys, to finish the spark on this my beautiful orange eyeshadow, I went in with a gold dust, you know, on it, and it was so lovely. The glit, the glow, it's not too loud, and my girl is not quiet at all. It was just perfect. And then like I said, I went back with my transition. As you can see, I'm blending the line between the dark shade and the orange, and it just smoothens everything out. This is me going in with my gel liner to do my upper eyelid to give me take away the stains. What this does is that it actually highlights the eyes. It just gives the eye makeup a pop. And so yeah, I went in with a mini brush from it came with the gel. I just decided to try it out today and it actually worked. The problem is that one side of my face was obstructing the camera, but it did the job. It was really easy to use. And then I went in with a longer brush from my set to do my inner eyeliner. For the inner eyelid, you want to use a very thin lined, like a double lined brush, very thin, very firm as well, not fluffy. And you want to fetch your gel or use your pencil or hold down just a little bit lightly, and then you shade in your eyes, and when you leave it that it just sits there. So I want to take out any kind of stain I had. That's what I did before I went in with a lighter shade of powder to dust off my setting powder. So I wasn't dusting it off with an empty brush. I was fetching a powder that is like my highlighter in a compact form. That's what I was using to blend it all out. And the thing with doing your eyeshadow after your face is that in most cases there will always be little drops of dust of eyeshadow. So for that, the secret for me, I just use my concealer as an eraser. Gently take off whatever stain it is and use your blender to pat it dry, and then use your compact on it and it just blends in. If it's a major stain, if you're used to having major errors after your while doing your eyeshadow on your already made face, want to make sure you do your eye makeup first before you go into your face, just to avoid all the time wastage and all. So I blended it all out properly. This me blending out all of my highlighter. Then I also went in with my compact bronzer, and I did that for my nose, my face, and I just went on same places where I did my liquid. I went in with the compact to dry it out and to mattify it. For the mattifying highlight and contour, I'm using a House of Tara powder palette in both light and dark shades respectively. I'm using the 46, I think the darkest one now for the contour below my cheekbone. That's what I'm doing. And I'm using a little brush because I don't want to go too much into my highlight or my blush. So this just keeps me, minimized, and I can monitor how much I have applied, because at this stage, if it is too dark, it's going to be a bit too hard to blend out. So I just went in with that and blended it out, and then I went to my compact blush. That's a classic US compact blush palette, and I went in with a red shade, actually the hot red. I'm going in very light with that, and I'm also going into my hairlines because it just adds this light to the makeup. It's lovely, well pigmented, it gives the results. Then to finish up my eyes, I'm using my concealer brush, my angle brush, to just clean up any stain around that area, and to make sure that my cat eye is giving, and to clean out any extra stains underneath. You know, doing this will help you, get a better result and see a very well clean face. As you can see, the product is very minimal, almost invisible, but the result is seen. So that's what you want to do, because of course at this stage you're done with the whole makeup, so you don't want to go in heavy. It's just going to create a map. So I went in with a compact to dry it out properly, and then I went in with my mascara to give my lash a little bit of volume and length, because I barely use artificial lashes for my videos. I always like to use my natural. And then I went in with the brown lip liner for a nude lip. I just thought that for this kind of a loud shadow is obvious, I just have to use a nude lipstick. So after I did my liner, I went in with my MAC lipstick. I don't know the name of the shade, but it's nude anyways, like fuchsia pink nude. And then I did that. I made sure it was well blended, and I smacked, and it looked lovely. Then I went in with my exact skin shade of powder to just unify the whole blush and highlights and contour. You just want everything to blend into your skin. You don't want to be seeing lines of bronzer, lines of blush. And this is the finished smooth flawless result.